The results are in. We've reviewed our CRM and sales data over the past 12 months. Now it's time to reveal the marketing activities that we're planning on utilizing for the next year. Like a lot of you, I'm a one-person marketing team, so it's really important to make sure that we get the most out of each and every single activity. With that in mind, you may have heard of the one-page marketing plan, but I didn't have time to put together a whole page, so I've decided to invent the one-post marketing plan. Ultimately, what that means is the channels that I want to go after, the tactics that I want to implement, and the objectives all fit within the size of a LinkedIn post. I know, revolutionary. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down and running through this one post marketing plan, including all the objectives I plan on achieving with each of the different tactics and channels, some of which may surprise you. So let's jump straight into it. So as you can see here, the post is broken down from activity or channel, the approach that we're going to be using from a tactical perspective, and very brief goals here, which don't go into too much detail, but I only had one post to go off. And you don't want to get bogged down in too much detail at this point. So the first one I want to go through at the very top of the plan is probably what you're watching this on, is YouTube. And ultimately, YouTube has been a really great lead generator for us in the past 12 months. If you look at this, we can see that we asked people how they heard about us, and you can see a lot of them either through YouTube search or just general YouTube said that they came onto the platform and found us, enough so that they remembered it when filling out a form on our website. So the plan in the new year is to keep creating videos like this one. We can walk through B2B marketing strategies, we can talk about trends, we can talk about tutorials. However, we're not mainly looking at direct response leads. This isn't a platform where we're looking for people to watch this video and fill out a form, for example. This is a platform where we're looking to nurture a community, where we're looking to really genuinely create insightful and meaningful YouTube videos, which ultimately align with what people in B2B companies are looking to achieve from a marketing perspective, which is why on the left-hand side, we don't have the goal as leads, which may seem quite strange. Ultimately, there's two things I care about from YouTube with regard to KPIs. One is, the main one is relevant watch time. So the moment we have, I think about 300 hours per month coming up to relevant watch time on YouTube. And I know it's relevant because I don't make videos around things that aren't important to our audience. We could probably get a lot more views if we spoke the best e-commerce strategies, but the problem is we don't target e-commerce brands. We target B2B, which may be slightly more niche, but ultimately we know if we're creating this content, we're building a viewership of people who actually care about B2B marketing and lead generation, for example. The other metric isn't even subscribers. Again, subscribers, it's a vanity metric. What we really care about is people who return month on month. We almost want to get the number of people who are watching month on month to be higher than our subscriber count, because you know those people are engaged, they're coming back for more content, and they're engaging with you regularly, which is a really great sign, and it really shows that you're helping people out in some form or another. So that's YouTube. The next, we move on to LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is by far one of my favorite platforms when it comes to B2B, and not only our marketing, but also our clients' marketing. And it's a really great way of getting your messaging in front of relevant clients, primarily from a firmographic setting. As you can see here, looking at our CRM data, last year, this is only one page of LinkedIn leads. There are several more from a LinkedIn perspective where people said they found us from LinkedIn videos, LinkedIn posts, LinkedIn ads, LinkedIn. On the left-hand side, you can see original source. I won't go too much into that, but some people came direct from organic or paid social. Other ones came from, at the bottom here, you see direct traffic, for example, which means they saw us on LinkedIn and then came directly to our site at a different point in time. And this is the whole point about building that audience and making sure people remember you when they ultimately want your product or service later down the line. Now, if we go back to our performance marketing plan, what we can see here is two different ways in which we're going to go after it. One is organic. I'm going to look to sort of post 3 times a week on LinkedIn to the audience, which I've grown over the years. Roughly, I'm sitting on around 4,000 followers. Again, not a massive number, just like my YouTube number, but ultimately making sure these people are engaged, they're liking your content and reaching out to you in the DMs or filling out forms to get hold of you through your website. So looking to post 3 to 5 times per week. And the great thing about what LinkedIn has just launched is thought leadership ads. So if any of these organic posts really resonate and it gets lots and lots of good feedback, whether people get in contact with me, whether people comment, and really find it quite interesting, we can then look to amplify these posts through thought leadership ads, which I've created a whole video on, which I'll link below the bottom as well, which I'm planning on utilizing for next year. The other great thing about YouTube and the way we try and use it is to take your YouTube videos, and whether you use the whole video or you can snippet them up, you can then amplify them through your LinkedIn ad as well. You can then start promoting your YouTube videos through LinkedIn ads. And the way in which people are buying, especially in B2B, it's a long buying journey. A lot of the time, you want to make sure that you create a differentiator. Yes, we help clients create all the testimonial ads, which are really important, use case ads, which are really important, product ads, which are really important, thought leadership ads, or carousels, for example, that are really important, the emails, which are really important, and we all have that as part of the marketing mix, which is great. But also, if you're creating stuff for YouTube, whether it's just videos, whether it's video podcasts, you want to make sure that you're using that content from a longer form to promote to your ideal audience as well. Because if people are watching 50% of a 5 to 10 minute clip, that person is very heavily engaged. Then you can start creating audiences within LinkedIn and then hitting them with other ads, which push them further down the funnel, which may be slightly more high intent. So the organic posts, we're posting 3 times a week from myself, and then we'll be doing paid media amplification of the YouTube videos. So it really helps me as a one-person marketing team leverage this type of content, but for actually targeted consumption from the firmographics and the types of people that we really, really want to get in front of to tell our message to. What we can see here is LinkedIn is targeted consumption. Yes, we want leads as a byproduct, but for this, I really care about guaranteed delivery through LinkedIn ads and through my audience and people who follow, who are probably B2B marketing managers, directors, owners, or B2B companies in certain different industries. The next one, and one of my all-time favorites and first loves in marketing, is Google Ads. Google Ads, again, is always going to be part of our marketing mix, ultimately meaning that we're going to be bidding on industry keywords, which we believe people are going to be going after. In the new year, we're going to go after an even more segmented approach. So like industry plus keyword that we're going after, whether it's Google Ads, LinkedIn ads, SEO, and making sure that the ads and the landing page we send them to is hyper relevant so we can get a really good return on ad spend. Ultimately, this is the only one where we really care that much about direct response leads, as you can see here in the goal section, because we want people at that point in time who don't have an agency in mind to come and find us, fill out that form, and then they'll get in contact, and then we can ultimately begin that sales process. We're also going to be testing a lot of mid-funnel stuff around Google Ads as well. So for example, bidding on terms like B2B marketing, for example, and then sending them to our bank of content. Because someone typing in B2B marketing probably isn't looking for a high intent agency provider, but they may actually be interested in the industry and sit within our demographic and firmographic. So we can then send them to a hub, whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's our blog, for example, on social media. They can then go through that content, decide that they like some of the things we're talking about, and it probably push them further down the funnel. What also happens is if we get these people mid-funnel onto our website, from a LinkedIn perspective, we probably cookied their browser. We can then start remarketing them across different social channels, and on LinkedIn, in the previous one in particular, we can start layering that retargeting with firmographics, demographics, any other things that we want to make sure that they qualify for people that we're looking to go after. So using Google Ads as a first touch point for relevancy, both high intent and mid intent, to start creating that B2B marketing paid media flywheel. The other great side of using, again, Google Ads and trying to use it in conjunction with LinkedIn is all the traffic that we send from LinkedIn to our website. We can create an audience in GA4, and then within Google Ads, we can say someone who's come from LinkedIn ads, once it hits a certain size, we can then start saying, I want to bid even broader on keywords because they know who we are. We can bid broader on them, and we can create something called a remarketing search ad, which ultimately means that someone who has been to your site before from LinkedIn, we can say, okay, bid on these terms, 200% more than you normally would bid on a first time visitor to our site. It really creates a nice synergy between these channels, and the tactics sort of bridges the gap between the two, and all the work and the time that I'm putting into creating a good YouTube strategy and then amplifying on LinkedIn, then allows me to target them at the bottom or mid funnel when it comes to Google Ads as well. So really bringing it all together. And talking of bringing it all together, the next one is SEO. And SEO has always been up there as one of my favorite channels, just like Google Ads, one of my first loves in marketing itself. But the way in which we try and use it now is slightly different. So what we can see here is something called the SEO opportunity score in B2B. And this one here is from a blended report, and I actually create a video, which I'll link below, which actually shows you how you can use the likes of Supermetrics and Google Data Studio to create this. On the left-hand side, you can see down here, we blend together your Google Ads keyword data and your Google Search Console data, and we blend those two queries together. This will then show you the average position of where organically you're ranking for that keyword, and also how many conversions you've had for that search term. And then what we do sort of going quite deep into this now, but I can break it down in a separate video, is divided by the difficulty score from an SEO perspective from Ahrefs, for example. We times that number by that number, so the average position by the number of conversions over the last 30 days. You then divide it by how difficult it is, and then you'll create an opportunity score. The higher this number is here, the more of the opportunity that you should be going after, because we can see here that it's an average position of 10. We times that by the fact it's had 10 conversions. Then divide it by 5, so that's going to be 100. Divided by 5, that's 20. If this number was 100, and it was really competitive, because this number here is out of 100, how difficult it would be to rank for this, then that'd only be 1, so there'd be really hard potentially to go after it. So what we can start doing is using all of our Google Ads conversion data and where we currently rank to create a heat map of opportunities from an SEO perspective. So this is what we should be going after. If we find in our Google Ads that we've got a keyword which no one else potentially is going after because it doesn't appear in keyword search, and it's performing really well for us, we want to make sure that we dominate the SERP on both paid ads and SEO to make sure that we're in front of this person twice instead of once, which is greater than the sum of its parts. Obviously, from an SEO perspective, you have to focus on your technical SEO, from campaign work, your on-page and content, and your digital PR and link building, all something that we include for our clients. But from our side, ultimately, we're always doing that in the back end anyway. This year, it's about segmenting it more by actual service and industry, for example, and then going after that using the Google Ads data to expedite our SEO. And that's everything from a channel perspective we'll be going after today. But the final one I want to touch on is our partner, Science, which comes from the Expandy Group. Ultimately, in a B2B marketing world with long buying cycles where cookieless is becoming more and more prominent, we work with Expandy and Science to make sure that we can target companies who also fit the right firmographics, who have the right technographic, so what technology they're currently using within their company, to allow us to target our prospects across email, across DSP, across LinkedIn, for example, and other social platforms, which really helps us increase the accuracy of our B2B marketing campaigns. If you want to learn more about the Science platform or the Expanded platform, feel free to click on the link below to Session Media. I'm more than happy to run you through an example and use cases for the platform. Also, if you want any more help with your B2B SEO, paid search, paid social, then please get in contact through the link below. More than happy to do an audit of any of your accounts and a potential roadmap or go-to-market strategy for the next year. Also, as you've stated at the end of this video, you may be interested in a deeper dive for all the elements which make up a B2B marketing roadmap, which I'll link to in this video here. But if you have any further questions, whack them in the comments, and looking forward to speaking to you next time, guys. Until then, have a great day.